Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of Who Wants to Be Minister? Because you know what's funny? You don't even need to be a political analyst. Hold on, let me fix this real quick. You don't need to be... You don't need a PhD. You don't need any of that. All you need to do to see how unstable the government is to just watch. Literally watch. Because they will expose themselves. Because at this point, they are writing the joke themselves. One of the biggest scandals in recent SAPS history explodes. A police commissioner speaks out. The public explodes in support. Trust in government tanks again. And what's their next move? They put Mantashe in charge of the police. Mantashe. Yes, that guy who all the residents of this one area were shouting at in that viral video. The guy who's still fumbling around in the mining and energy sector like it's a jigsaw puzzle, missing half the pieces and like he's playing Squid Game. Here's how it plays out. Countries burning, crime exploding, a top cop exposes internal corruption. No problem. Just grab someone from a different ministry and slap a new badge on him. 2 hats. One man, no accountability. Mantashe now runs the mining and energy. The police. What's next? Minister of load shedding too? We keep having ministers of everything. I might as well be the minister of YouTube. Maybe he can host a cooking show with Somizi while he's at it. Because this is not leadership. This is a bad season of a political soap opera. Mantashe's skeletons are already dancing to this news because they know he's still going to get so much more money because of this. We cannot forget that this is the man who has been called out for alleged links to dodgy tenders, has been accused of interfering in mining regulations to favor connected interests, struggled to attract new investment into South Africa's crumbling mining sector, fumbled Eskom oversight while our power grid practically collapsed, and is the same guy who the miners complain about because they feel like they're working in an unsafe environment and it feels like they're playing Squid Game instead of going to work. Hey Mantashe, control crime. Also, before I hang up, deal with the SAPS. If that doesn't scream we have no plan, then I don't know what does. Tell me what it means then. Because here's what this should really tell you. This isn't about Gwede. This is about a system that is so unstable, so chaotic, that they've stopped even pretending to care about logic, just like with the Epstein files. This is panic. Cyril and his advisors didn't know what to do, so they reached into the ANC lucky draw bowl and pulled out a name. And bam, Gwede Mantashe, the new top cop. Bruv, just juggle more hats, bro. That's literally all they're thinking. It's not governments. This is damage in a control theater. SAPS is fractured from the inside and they're acting like nothing is wrong. The ruling party is terrified of what Mkwanazi exposed. The public is angrier than they've been in years, despite the fact that the government keeps trying to make it look like the least of situations. And the president is hoping, while doing that this goes away quickly. They didn't bring in a reformer. That's why they didn't bring in a dependent person either. Why don't you bring someone who can ask too many questions for their liking? Because they know it's not going to be good for them. They all have skeletons. You need skeletons to be where they are. You see? It was going to fall again, but I didn't let it happen. All right, let's balance this good real quick. Let's go to OG position. All right. And screw you, dirty-minded people. All right, perfect position. But until we stop tolerating this circus, until we stop clapping for the recycled faces in new positions, we're going to keep crashing. Because now I want to talk about Gwede 2 Hats Mantashe, because this man is busy. He's doing more jobs than a Zimbabwean uncle with the fake ID in Cape Town. Mining, police, maybe next week it's home affairs. We don't know. All we know is if anything explodes, Cyril will throw Gwede at it. Like, load shedding, call Gwede. Cops exposing corruption. Just give it to Gwede. Gwede Mantashe has got this. Give him another hat. Make him look like Peggy Cele. Eskom's on fire again. Tell Gwede to bring a hose. Aliens landed in Limpopo. Get Gwede a space helmet. Then we'll contact NASA because we got a new Minister of Space, Gwede Mantashe. They are playing ANC Pokemon Go. And then the different ministers are the different Pokemon balls. All right. He is now Minister of Mining. He is now acting police minister. Soon he's going to be the Minister of Denial, Minister of Ghosting the Public, and Minister of It Wasn't Me. Minister of Angazi. He's going to take it from Jacob Zuma. By the end of the year, he's going to walk into Parliament with a hat rack and say, pick one. I'm all of them. I'm all the ministers. Watch this man hold a press conference like, ladies and gentlemen, as Minister of Mining, I would like to announce a coal deal. As Minister of Police, I would like to arrest myself for it. As Acting Minister of Electricity, I'd like to confirm that none of you will have power when you get home. At this point, we are not running a country anymore. We are running a game show. Next episode of Who Wants to Be a Minister? Hosted by none other than Jeremy Wade. But this time, I think Jeremy Wade would give the position to Cyril, because it's a balancing act built on lies. That's what this government is. It's not a government anymore. It's just a stage act that has been built on lies. We're the audience, and we are forced to believe whatever is going on there. This is the Sambit, and like always, I'll see you on the next episode of Who Wants to Be a Minister?